Hey folks, welcome back to Wild West Barbecue. This weekend we're going to smoke up a couple of chuck roasts. I've never smoked these before and I'm excited to see how they turn out, so let's get to it. Okay, as I said, I've never smoked a chuck roast before. It's something I'm looking forward to doing. If you don't know, a chuck roast is typically referred to as a poor man's brisket because it's very similar to a brisket. It tends to come out very much like a brisket when it's done. It's just much cheaper than a brisket when you go to buy it. So I am excited to try this out. The two chuck roasts I have are from my local butcher, the Uppercut. If you're in the Kansas City area, I definitely encourage you to check them out. It is well worth the trip up to their shop. So we're gonna do a little bit of sight trimming, and I'm gonna use two different rubs on these. I'm gonna use my typical homemade brisket rub, and we're gonna go ahead and use a commercial rub as well, just to see what the differences might be in taste. So let's go ahead and get these lightly trimmed, and then I'll show you guys what goes in my brisket rub. So these are my two chuck roasts. There is some really hard fat, like right up here on this end. We're gonna go ahead and trim all that off. I don't want all that hard fat in there. It's not gonna cook or render down, so we're just gonna go ahead and remove this as best I can. It's not wanting to cooperate very well, but that's all right. I'm okay leaving this strip on here. I think that's about all I'm gonna do for this one. On this one here, I want to remove some of this here. This is, again, really hard fat that's just not gonna cook very well. So we're gonna go ahead and get at least some of this taken off. And I'm gonna leave the rest of this on because we got a big strip of meat right here. So I'm gonna leave this on, I remove that. I think that's all the trimming I want to do with these. Being my first time cooking, I don't wanna do too much. So let's go ahead and get the rubs ready. All right, to make my brisket powder, we start with a half a cup of onion powder, quarter cup garlic powder, 1/4 cup paprika, 1/8 a cup or 2 tablespoons, it's the same measurement, of white pepper, and 1/4 cup brown sugar. Go ahead and give that a whisk, get everything mixed up, and then this will be good to put on our brisket. I did go ahead and salt my brisket beforehand. I don't put any salt in my homemade rubs because then I can just go ahead and salt to taste by putting it directly on the meat and not worry about it getting overly salty. For my commercial rub, I'm gonna use the Hardcore Carnivore black rub. It's supposed to be good on beef, we're gonna find out. I did not pre-salt the chuck roast I'm putting this on because it already contains salt. There's no need to over salt it. Let's go ahead and get our rubs put on our chuck roasts. All right, this chuck roast here is the one we're gonna use my brisket rub on, so let's just go ahead and get this thing coated up and ready to go. All right, we got this one covered on all sides. Let's move on to this one, which we're gonna use the Hardcore Carnivore seasoning on and see how it comes out. All right, we are now good to go with this. I'm liking the black color here. That is amazing. I absolutely love that. We're gonna see how it comes out with the cook. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these in the fridge for a few hours and get the smoker fired up here in a couple hours and get these on, and we'll see how they turn out. All right, I just got the smoker started 5 or 10 minutes ago. We're waiting for it to come up to temp. I am using my bellows and signals. I have the signals wrapped up in a big blanket because it is currently -1 degrees Fahrenheit here in Kansas City. I don't know why I live someplace where the air hurts my face, but I do. So we just have to adapt and move on. Here in a little bit, once this comes up to temp, probably in about an hour or so, I'm gonna bring the chuck roast outside and get them on the smoker. All right, it's about 7 o'clock tonight. The chuck roasts are done. I think the blackened one, the blackened seasoning I use is probably cooked about right. I think the one with my other rub might be a little underdone, but we'll find out. I did finish these here inside in the oven for the last half an hour to an hour or so. I was losing temperature in the smoker. I think it was just an issue of it being so cold outside that I was having trouble keeping temp. I think I said when I started it was about -1 degrees outside. When I pulled them, the temperature had risen to a grand total of 2 degrees Fahrenheit. So, you know, obviously it's very cold. Living here in the Midwest in the United States, we expect some big temp swings. This is a bit unusual for our area, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get these sliced up and see how we did. Okay, this one here is the one with the blackened seasoning, and this one was the one with my homemade rub. I'm gonna cut this one up first. Like I said, I think this one's probably cooked about right. This one might be a tad underdone, but we'll find out. So, yeah, this is just coming apart. This is wonderful. Let's see. It's a decent slice. I'm looking forward to trying that out. Let's see how we did on this one. Go ahead and slice some of this up. Actually, this one's not too bad either. We'll find out how we did. Let's cut around the bone here. There is a bone in these. Yeah, this one might be a little underdone, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and give a quick taste to each of these and see what we got. All right, I'm gonna try the one with my rub on there first and see how it came out. It's a little dry. Taste-wise is great. That one is a little dry. Let's go ahead and try the one with the commercial rub on there. See how it came out. The one with the commercial rub is way better. I really like that. I think it just cooked. I think it's cooked a little better, and I think the taste is probably with that rub is probably a little better than the one I tend to use. I really like this rub. So, we're gonna go ahead and have our meal, and I'll come back at you guys later with some final thoughts on how the cook went. All right, the chuck roast actually came out pretty well. It had the flavor of a brisket, but it had more the texture of a roast to it. But overall, this is definitely something I will do again. I'm hoping maybe next time I can improve the texture of it and see if I can get it closer to brisket. For it being my first time cooking this, it came out great. It is definitely something I'll be cooking again. And it's definitely something I would recommend trying if you're in the market for getting something that tastes like brisket, but you don't want to spend the money for a whole brisket. This is a very good alternative to that. So, if you guys are enjoying my videos, please like and subscribe. That helps new viewers find my content. Thank you for watching. Until next time.